What's going on, guys? Coach Vic here. Welcome to the Mental Hitting Guy channel. Today, I'm going to be breaking down Ohtani's load mechanism, which is a toe tap or heel lift, whatever you want to call it, kind of an Albert Pujols-esque. So let's just get right into it. The best year of my career as a professional was when I implemented the heel lift as a timing mechanism. Now, back at the time, I didn't really know what the heck I was doing, honestly, and I was just kind of mimicking or modeling the mechanism of Albert Pujols, who I watched growing up, obviously one of the best hitters of all time. If I had understood it a little bit better, like I do now, it could have been more beneficial. But what ended up happening, I actually went away from that mechanism to something that was not nearly as efficient, not nearly as helpful in terms of being on time, seeing the ball, and just overall confidence and consistency. We live and learn, right? So this is why now I'm teaching it to you. I think that if you are struggling a little bit with your timing and you're just a little bit off, that this could be something that you can add in to experiment with, whether it's to implement it as your swing 100% of the time, or possibly even as a two-strike approach. But then my argument is, well, if you're better with this mechanism with two strikes, why would you not just hit that way all the time and then just adjust your mental approach? Taking a look at Ohtani. Now, I definitely think that this is one of the most consistent ways of loading when it comes to, especially with younger athletes that struggle with, the consistency of like a leg kick or a bigger forward move. It's a little bit of a challenge and it takes a little bit of time. But I believe that this is probably the quickest way to learn getting loaded properly and then getting into a good launch. It minimizes the amount of movements that they need to make in the swing. So I've done a past video, the 7 phases of the swing. Okay. And so real quickly, like phase number 1 is your stance. Okay. So like Ohtani here, we're looking at him in his stance. Okay. But phase 2 is the load. I also call that the control point, because that is the peak of the hitter's lift. That could be a heel lift or that could be a leg lift. Whatever it may be, when the hitter is at the peak of their lift, as the ball is leaving the hand, this dramatically simplifies the process. Okay, hitting is hard enough as it is. If we need to get our body into position and see it and track it and pull the trigger and get into position, there's too much going on. It's hard enough as it is to see it, track it, pull the trigger. Okay, so the more ready you can be at release of the pitch, potentially the more consistent you can be when it comes to pulling the trigger. The way I like to describe this is like with Ohtani here, when he loads, this is his load. So this is phase 2, okay? And then let's go to launch. And this is his launch. So phase 2, phase 3. Very, very similar positions. The only real difference is that front leg, knee, and like heel kind of making its way like a little bit open, and then the heel getting down, and then the swing starting to go. Basically, it's like taking phase 2 and phase 3 and putting them together. So it almost eliminates a step for those younger hitters and more than likely can be helpful in improving consistency. So let's back it up again. Let's take it to the beginning. Okay, so I like to break down the swing sometimes a little bit different. Sometimes people will go top to bottom. I like to go front to back. Okay, so again, Ohtani starts everything really early. He gets to this toe well before the ball is released, allowing him to get settled in position, getting himself mentally and physically ready to swing the bat. And when he does this, you see there's a little extra coil there and kind of a little bit of a shift, but then now the ball is probably getting released, and now at this point, it is simply track it, pick up spin, determine location, and then pull the trigger. Okay. And so getting to this position every single time as the ball is released is what I think is the key to being consistent. Being in a good position, the same position, every single time the ball is released is absolutely huge. So like here, in this case, this is where Ohtani gets to before the ball's released. He has his front side, front shoulder, under the chin. Okay. Front knee is turned back toward the catcher. So is the front heel is kind of like turned up, almost like you're going to show the pitcher the bottom of your shoe. And so what we're talking about here is loading or closing off that front side. But then what happens is when you close off the front side, and here I'll give you a little circles. Let's do some circles here. Okay. When you close off the front, you coil the back. Okay. So I like to break down the back posterior like hands, hip, heel. Okay. 3 H's, triple H. Hands, hip, heel. Hands are back. We're coiled in the back hip. And we see that back hip is also inside that back knee. And then we have the heel anchored in the ground. When the front side is closed, the back side is coiled. Okay. As the goal here is to be in this position when the ball is coming out of the hand so that you can, when you are ready to fire, you're able to maximize your body's efficiency and quickness to be able to get that dang barrel to the ball. Once Ohtani is going to fire, now you're going to see all these 3 points starting to go forward. Okay, let's take it frame by frame. Front side, close, 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 pull the trigger. Back side fires. Okay, let's go back. Front side, close, 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 closed. Backside, fire. And you see how everything is going all at once. It's an explosion from the backside. When that heel is going to get down, when he pulls that trigger, that entire backside is going to fire. So one of the ways I like to describe this too to hitters is if you can set your body into a proper position, when your eyes see the ball and then your brain says go and your instincts kick in, then your body's going to naturally unwind from where you've set it. So if you can master getting to this toe, which is basically a launch position with your heel up, you're going to be far more efficient than any other leg lift or any other method of timing, because you can be consistent when things are clicking and you got a leg kick, then yeah, you're right on. But it's what happens when you're not consistent, when it's not clicking, right? Ohtani did it. Ohtani went from a leg lift to this, right? If he's such a great hitter, why did he need to change? Why did he need to adjust? Because all hitters are human. And so we all need to make adjustments. We all could be more efficient. So I definitely think that this is something that can be helpful for all, if not for many hitters. It's not about like a cookie cutter thing. It's just a way of teaching you how to simplify the non-negotiables. We need to be in a good load. That's a non-negotiable, right? How you load can change, can vary, but the load itself is basically universal across the board. Launch position, another universal position. So this method ties those two together, ties the load and the launch together in a simple, more repeatable method of timing. Once again, you're going to see that as long as you can get to this position before the ball is released, you are in a good position to hit, and your body is ready to be efficient and explosive through the ball. Guys, if you want to help break down your swing like this and see if there's any adjustments that you need to make, either your mental approach or mechanical or all of the above, since it's all the same anyways, I'm giving away a free online hitting lesson. You can go to the link in the description below. There's also a coupon code there that you would enter, and it'll get you absolutely free. We'll work one-on-one. So head to the link in the description below, and we can get started getting you dialed back in. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this video. If you want to see more like it, or maybe highlight another MLB player, just let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.